Welcome back, guys. Thanks for joining me for another beer review. Hope you're all good. Like I say, we're back with another one, and this is the final one now from the 5 that I picked up from Waitrose. Well, I actually think I picked about 8 up, didn't I? But this is the final one of the 5 for 4, and we're looking at a beer, the second beer now from Double Barreled, who are out of Reading, and this is their Kitchen Disco Hazy IPA. It's got to be said, I quite like the artwork. That's quite cool and funky. 440ml can. This is coming in at 5.8%. Like I said, part of a 5 for 4. I think it was about 350, 375. Obviously with the freebie, you can kind of average out the price a little bit less. But yeah, 350, 375 if you're buying it on its own. So take a look at that now. Don't have a double barreled glass, so it's going in the old white hag glass. Nice and chilled. Like I say, it's the last one out of the ones that I got from Waitrose. And it must be said that I've actually quite enjoyed the beers that I've picked up from Waitrose. It's got to be said. I don't go there too often because it's in Chester. So it's a good 40-minute drive really to get there. So I don't really bother too much. But when we do go, I do pick some up. So hopefully this is going to be another good one. It's not looking too bad, to be fair. We'll give the old can a swirl. I don't know how much it's going to change. There is a couple of lumps that have dropped in there. So there we go. Beer in a glass. You can see the lumps going down the glass, can't you? Hazy orange squash looking kind of beer. Just about a finger of slightly off-white head. It looks white on the camera, but it is slightly off-white. It's a little bit hazy. Shall I read anything off the back? What does it say? Tropical, peachy and bold. Enjoy fresh, keep chilled. That's about it. So, let's have a sniff. See what we get from this. Yeah, and to be fair, you definitely get tropical. And you definitely get that peachy note. A little bit stone fruitish. It's sort of going along the lines a little bit of a New England. Bit hoppy. Smells nice enough. I'm not going to say it's really giving me that big wow factor on the nose, but it smells nice enough. You can't knock it. So, without further ado, Double Barreled out of Reading, Kitchen Disco Hazy IPA. 5.8% from Waitrose. Cheers. Oh, there's a big bitterness in there. I'll give it that. A big bitterness. A dank bitterness for me. Let's go in again. I'm going to say straight away, when I was having that first mouthful, didn't have a great big head. It did feel a little bit light, if you like. When I swirled it around and got a bigger head on it and drank it, that head made it feel a little bit heavier and certainly made it a lot nicer to drink. I'm going to say the body is medium. We'll go between the two. We'll call it a medium sort of body. There is carbonation in there, but it's very much in the background. Small bubbles, minimal. Mouthfeel is a little bit rough. I'm not going to say it's terrible, but it is a little bit rough around the edges. It's a very dank beer. I'll tell you that for now. On the taste, again, tropical peachy stone fruit sort of notes is what you get. You get the hoppiness. It's very dry and dank on the back end. My palate's adjusted a bit more. I've drunk half of it, so it's not so full on like it was when I first had a mouthful. That's more at the back end now. Leaves you with I wanted to say a grapefruit bitterness, but I don't think there's really sort of any massive grapefruit note in there. Probably is lingering a little bit in the background, but it feels like a very sort of dank bitterness. Leaves you very dry. I mean, that is drying me out instantly. The dankness is quite powerful. Now, I don't mind dankness in a beer. I think the dankness on this is quite high, and you maybe notice it a bit more because there's not enough big juicy notes in there. So I think on this occasion, the dankness some people might find a little bit too much. It's on the verge for me, I think. Yeah, it's got a real sort of the sort of dankness to it is real sort of strong in it. 5.8%. I'm going to say you notice that because of the dankness. You know, these days 5.8%. Yeah, don't get me wrong, it's a strong beer. But when you look at what's out there in general, it's just above average really, 5.8%. And I think that dankness, you could call it a bitterness, makes this beer feel a little bit sort of powerful. I think it's one of them that you could probably drink 2 of and think, oh Christ, I feel like I've had about 4 or 5. It's got that sort of feel to it. But saying that, I've sat here sort of knocking it. There's enough about this beer that certainly sets it apart from others in other supermarkets. That's for sure. Sure. Excuse me. Oh, pardon me. I do apologise. The flavours are there. The flavours are good. They're not there enough to hide that sort of real big dank sort of dry finish on it, but they are quite bold. The body is medium. You know, if you pour it with a good head, it's going to glide down. It's just going to, a good head on this beer will help it. It is a little bit rough around the edges, but I do think, like I say, if you get that good head on the beer, that will sort of null some of that carbonation, if you like, or the roughness. Yeah, really, it's a pretty decent beer, to be fair. It's got to be said. Enjoyable enough. It's gone down very easy. It's got to be said. I like it. Would I recommend it? Yeah, I'd recommend it. Is it without faults or little niggly bits? Yeah, if you want to be picky like me, there are some minor little things there. But I think overall, the beer is decent. It's well brewed. I would imagine on tap, that would be an awful lot better because it's sort of got everything there and just lacks a little bit. Lacks a little bit that I think having it on tap would add to it. So, yeah, double barreled out of Reading. And their Kitchen Disco Hazy IPA, 5.8%. Yeah, a good beer, but a couple of little faults maybe if you want to be picky. But I'll drink that again. I'll drink that again, to be honest. So I'm throwing everything out the window what I've just said, aren't I? Yeah, if you've had it before, give it a go for a start. And if you have had it before, let me know what you think. Feel free to comment. Thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Boom. Baz will see you again soon on another one. Cheers.